Hi guys, happy St. Patrick's Day. So just in case you're wanting to do some writing on your days off, I thought we would try a limerick together. So a limerick follows a certain rhyming pattern. So it has 5 lines and there is an A, B, B, A rhyming pattern. And the other thing about this is the A's, the first, second, and fifth lines are 8 to 9 syllables, and the third and fourth lines are more like 5 or 6 syllables, so they're a little bit shorter. So whatever word you decide to use for your ending word and the first line, make sure it's something that has lots of words that rhyme with it, because you're going to have to rhyme the second line and the fifth line with that. Another thing about limericks is that they are rhyming, of course, like I just said, but they're also usually funny. And they usually start with something like, there once was a whatever. And sometimes you start out by saying a person's name and the location they're from. You don't have to, but a lot of them follow that pattern. I chose a limerick today since it's St. Patrick's Day, and the origin of Limerick is a city in Ireland, and so they often associate that with St. Patrick's Day. There are some funny St. Patrick's Day limericks online if you want to try to look some of those up. But to start out, I'm going to write one with you. And the nice thing about doing this online is you can pause me whenever you need to. So if you haven't thought of your topic yet, if you need time to find something that rhymes, just pause me and you can find something and then come back on when you're ready to join me back into writing. I recommend rhymezone.com. I use it all the time when I'm writing poetry, but you can also just do a list. Like I knew I wanted to write about Maisie because she's laying right here beside me in my writing chair. I'm hoping she stays quiet for this whole video. But I wanted to write about Maisie, but before I did that, I made sure, okay, there are several words that rhyme with Maisie, so I'll be okay because I have to rhyme at least line 2 and 5 with that. Now, before I get started with brainstorming and writing my limerick about Maisie, I want to share with you, I know you've heard Monster and Dragon write poems, I've read it in class before, but I want to just give you a feel for the rhythm and the beat that goes with a limerick. So this is a poem called Dragon, and it's written by Monster. There once was an impolite poet. The problem was he didn't know it. He bragged all the time that he knew how to rhyme and took every chance he could show it. And then there's a limerick by Dragon that's called Monster, about Monster. There once was a writing beginner. He worked hard from breakfast to dinner. He wrote what he learned, but his poem was burned, and now it cannot be the winner. So, and also in the back of this book, it tells you the little formula, the little recipe for writing a limerick, along with all the other different kinds of poems that you might want to try on these days off, because I know you're dying to write like I am. I've been writing every day since I've been off. But back to writing about Maisie, and you guys choose what you want to write about. And then the nice thing about being an author is you get to pick your topic. You can choose what you want this limerick to be about. So I'm doing Maisie. I came up with some words that rhyme. So I think what I'm going to start with is there once was a dog named Maisie. And so I'm going to get that down. So you write your first line. Okay, now I know my second line has to rhyme with Maisie at the end. And so I'm going to pick one of the words off my list that would be kind of funny. So I'm going to use the word crazy, because when she gets all riled up, she just runs all over the place. She'll jump over the back of the couch. She's a really big dog. And so I think what I'm going to say next is, her owners thought she was crazy. And so Maisie and crazy rhyme at the end there, so that will work. So her owners thought she was crazy. So far I have, there once was a dog named Maisie. Her owners thought she was crazy. Okay, now I'm to the lines 3 and 4, where I have to come up with a different ending word for each, but they need to rhyme with each other. So again, whatever I choose for line 3 at the end, it's gonna have to rhyme with the end of line 4. So I have to be careful. Don't choose the word orange or something crazy that doesn't have anything that will rhyme with it. So let's see. The reason we think she's crazy is because she goes crazy when she's running around, and she just goes wild for little bursts of time. But then the funny thing is, then she'll just like, boom, she's done. She'll go 100 miles an hour to 0. So let's see. I'm gonna say she'd run all around and then drop to the ground Okay, so around and ground rhyme. So I'm okay so far. There once was a dog named Maisie. Her owners thought she was crazy. She'd run all around, then drop to the ground. And now I have to have something that ends with Maisie crazy, which, what works here, I'm gonna use my word lazy that I have, because then she's just like she is right now, just laying in the chair being lazy. So I could end it with, and all of the sudden she's lazy. Okay? So hopefully you've paused this as I've gone and you've been able to fill in as you're going. Hopefully you're working on your last line right now. But I'm gonna read you what I came up with. There once was a dog named Maisie. Her owners thought she was crazy. She'd run all around, then drop to the ground, and all of a sudden, she's lazy. So that's my limerick about our dog Maisie. Let me see if I can turn the camera here so you can see her. There she is, being lazy. Maisie! Yeah, she's really lazy right now. So, because she's already run around. We went for a morning run, 4 miles. Now she's out. So, I'd really love to have you share some of the limericks that you are doing. So I hope you're trying one. So my class, if you tried a limerick, post it on Seesaw and share it with us. It can be about your pets. I know a lot of you have pets. It can be about being home at school. It can be about the virus. It can be about anything you want it to be about. But try to make it funny, because we need to stay happy and cheerful, and we need to keep seeing each other. So keep posting on Seesaw, and I can't wait to read your limericks. I will be back on in a little bit to read you another chapter in our read aloud. Can't wait. And happy St. Patrick's Day.